Savage. What's going on, Savages? Welcome to another episode of the Savage Snowflake Podcast with me, Jeff, your friend, your orator, your listener. If you need it, if you ever need an ear, just hit me up in the DMs. I'm always there for you. Your mother, your father, your child, your newborn, the one that you love more than the other kid, because the other one's really loud and messy. But I'm kind of sweet, and I help out around the house. Good to have you guys here. Thanks very much for coming back. We've had a string of wonderful guests lately. My guest today is equally lovely, if not more so. Before I introduce her, I want a big shout out to all of the patrons. Thank you very much if you're supporting the podcast at patreon.com/Savage Snowflake. It's as little as $1 a month if you want to get some more of this epic content that I give to you twice a week, every single month. Thank you very much for supporting us. And thank you very much to our sponsors. Over here, we've got manscaped.com, refining the gentleman. If you're a hirsute gentleman like myself, you need to trim up the little nip hairs. Maybe take down those eyebrows. Maybe you want to go downstairs and keep yourself nice and clean for your loved one. No one wants to pull pubic hair out from between their teeth. It's disgusting. Go to manscaped.com. If you use code SAVAGE, you'll get 20% off all of their wonderful products, including the Lawnmower 2.0, their finest trimmer. It's got hours of battery life. It's completely waterproof. It's got an RPM of 6,000. I don't know what that means, but it means that you're going to come out very smooth and very sensual looking. Use code SAVAGE, you get 20% off. You get a free travel bag and free shipping. And thank you very much, of course, to Boundless over here. Boundless Technology, the famous purveyors of vaping technology. If, like me, you like a little smoke to relax, take the edge off, maybe dispel some of that depression you might have, the crippling insecurities of being an actor in Hollywood. Then go to bndlstech.com, use code SAVAGE, 25% off all of their wonderful bits, including their brand new Turp pen. It's only $30, you get 25% off. I don't know what my maths is like, $17, something like that, and it's incredible. Make sure you check them out. Thanks very much. Right, joining me today. I like how you put in a funny face at my little intro for my sponsors. Joining me today is a woman who actually, your career, I think I followed now for decades. Oh, ironically, and we spoke about that in an airport lounge 4 years ago when we first met. We're meeting for the second time today. It's an incredibly talented actress, currently starring in the brand new series Sabrina. Well, actually, what's the official title? Because it's not. It's the
Chilling Adventures.
The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, not to be confused with Sabrina the Teenage Witch, which I also watched when I was a young'un. And she is playing Satan's bride, but actually in season 2 we find out that's not necessarily your role. I've just binge watched both seasons in the last week. It's Michelle Gomez. Thank you very much for being here, Michelle.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. It's delightful.
Got a cup of tea, got a bit of water. We're ready. Cheers. There we go. We're doing it. Look at that.
There we go.
But we're doing it LA style with a bit of almond milk and
nice
agave.
Well, he has. Mine's just cow's milk.
Yours has got cow's milk.
Oh, that's better.
Is that good brew?
Very good.
So you just stepped off a plane. Where have you flown in from today?
From Vancouver, because we're still out there. Right, we started doing the next batch of Sabrina. So
this is season 3.
Apparently it is season 3, but technically it's season 2. Because season 1 was season 1 part A and part B, and now we're doing season 2.
Oh.
Yes, contractually it is season 2.
Right.
But really,
but for the viewer's point
3.
of view, it's the third season of the show.
Third. Yeah, it's the third time. Third go round.
As I said, I've been not with any, not with a specific kind of focus, but I've actually ended up following your career through many, many shows. Because I used to watch Green Wing, which I still think is one of the best cult British comedies that ever happened.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And you were, I think, back then, I feel no shame in saying this, because you're still a very beautiful lady, but you were definitely a bit of a sexual icon for me when I used to watch that show.
Wow.
Because I was... When was that? When was it shot?
It was just about a year ago. It was
a year ago.
It was a while ago. It was
maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago?
Jesus Christ,
I was very late teens.
God.
And you have played in a number of shows now, including Sabrina. We'll get onto that. But you've always played very intense characters, very twisted, dark characters, normally a little bit of lunacy, and always a little sexy.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I'll thank you. I'll accept that. All of that. All of the above.
They're all facts about your career.
Right. Okay. Well, look, I'm actually blushing.
We're writing your biography as we speak.
Thank you. I would love that. Please do that for me, because I don't have the energy.
Shall I write your Wikipedia page for you?
Yes. Actually, yes.
But do you do you still enjoy being sexy in roles? Is
Oh
that
my
like a
God,
fun?
that's so funny that you should say that. No, I don't have any notion that I'm the slightest bit sexy. I feel like a bag of potatoes most of the time, but a really sexy bag of potatoes.
Like a real, yeah, like
That's the
kind of
difference between like pot chips or
like the roasting potatoes.
kettle chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like a sexy potato. I don't know.
Cajun
Maybe a
seasoning on
fingerling.
them.
A fingerling. Do you know what I mean, that's quite sexy, isn't it?
That's
Anyway,
a posh potato.
I don't know about that. I basically, maybe the sexiness comes from the writing. It just comes from a kind of, fierceness that's on the page that I get to bring to
But
life.
you've landed at all those roles. You've been in Doctor Who playing the Master, or I think the character was called the Lady, right?
No, it was the Master.
But it's on IMDb. It's credited as the Lady.
Oh no, that was
But then in
Gotham.
That was in Gotham. My apologies.
Yeah, no, I don't ever actually have character names. I'm just called the Shrew,
The
the
Lady,
Lady,
the Shrew,
the Master.
Master.
Madam Satan. I've
Yeah.
never played a part called Alice,
Jenny.
Sharon. I've yet to play
Well,
those
technically,
roles.
you're Lilith as well in Sabrina.
Lilith,
So.
yeah, I am, and Wardwell.
But I think actually you get 3 names.
I do. There's a few more coming, I think.
Oh,
this
really?
year.
Go through a few more iterations.
Yeah.
I do think though, even though of course the writing and the shows that you've done, I mean, even just those 3, which are the 3 that I've watched more readily. Actually, I saw you in Gotham as well, so 4 technically. I don't think it's just that these are characters that are written, so therefore you take on the mantle of that. There must be something about your essence that A, makes people feel a little saucy,
Oh, right.
and B, a little bit terrified of you.
Right.
You have, you have like the characters have always been very powerful. None of these are wilting flowers.
No.
But they're also as sexual as they are devious and potentially deathly.
Well, maybe there's people are attracted to that because it's a part of themselves that they don't get to play out in real life, and
Speak for yourself.
Oh,
That's my day today.
But so did I get to? If there's some ass, I will kick it. Bring me the ass. And so I don't know. Maybe like I'm sort of filling a kind of niche market there for sexy angry women. I don't know.
I don't think niche. I think difficult to play because it's hard to walk that fine line between being desirable and I mean you're definitely the characters are always slightly more the femme fatale, I think, would be a good way to describe it.
Okay, listen, you know what? This is kind of interesting. We can talk about why someone is sexy and someone or something isn't. It always blows my mind who are the people I find attractive in life, and it's never the one. Well, of course, my husband, because I'm devoted to Jack Davenport.
Proper. Oh, wait. So yes, we did discuss this in the airport lounge.
He's a lovely man.
He's a looker, though, isn't he? He's easy to be into.
He's gorgeous. But it does. But when you're working with people and you're out there and you were always in this industry, you're exposed to some wonderful human beings, and some are more,
and some less,
and
wonderful.
some terrible ones too. That would be me. But it always amazes me the ones that I'm actually like, hang on a minute, wow, you're not what I thought you were. So it's always the ones that have this sort of hidden, is it pheromones that just come from nowhere? Yeah. And I tell you the thing I do find like seriously sexy is talent, right?
Yeah.
And so it doesn't really matter what you look like. I had a big Gérard Depardieu. I think it would be Depardieu moment. I was like, oh my goodness, he's just.
So did all of France.
Oh wow! Right,
That's
and it's
Noz,
like
though.
you look
Come
at
on,
him and you're like,
he looks like.
It's like he's not really what you would, call traditionally or normally.
But they do say like elongated, like not
I like a big nose. I like a big nose and a large
it's a sexual
belly.
thing, isn't
I like
it?
a big nose and a large belly.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that? But then I married Jack, who has neither of those things.
He's got a pert bum, though, hasn't he?
Oh, he's got his mother's bottom.
Yeah, I think there is something to be said about desire coming out of very natural animalistic elements. I know that the lady, my girlfriend, she is very beautiful, like your husband as well. There's obviously an aesthetic quality to her, but she's incredibly talented at what she does. She's a singer. She's not an actress or a comedian. Which
Good.
I know. Got to dodge that bullet, right? But she's very talented in her own right and her own avenue, which I agree is very sexy. But also just tastes and smells and things like that is purely animalistic.
Yes.
There's no other reason than
Right.
her
I know,
pheromones
but
and mine
if-
are saying you should
But
procreate.
you can't unless it's scratch and sniff. You're not going to be able to taste and smell that person on screen, are you? So there's somehow something.
So from an audience point of view, it's hard to find.
From audience point of view, yeah, what is it? What's coming across then? And then that can that energy, come across the screen?
Well, I think with you, it's eyes.
Eyes.
Yeah, you're a big eye actress.
You're
a big-eyed actress.
Big eye, big bug eyes. Yeah, I've got
Not
some
buggy,
big eyes.
But you do a lot with your eyes in your roles. As I'm getting, I would like to think slightly more refined in my attempts to be a good actor.
In your skill.
Yeah, I realised that fledgling actors, and I've been guilty of this for a while, and I'm trying to change it. Do a lot with their face and their hands, and it's a lot of acting, right? And then when you get good,
right,
like you have been for at least the 20 years that I've seen you in things, you do an awful lot with small movements.
I'm just tired.
You're just like, I'm raising a fucking child.
I will raise an eyebrow today, and that's all I've been paid for.
But you know what? There's something to be said for that. There's a lot of people get roles because they go in and they act like they don't care about getting the role in the audition, and that's what makes them so desirable.
There's another quality to what makes somebody sexy. It's a kind of self-possession and being comfortable in your own skin. Yeah. And it's not that you don't give a fuck. Can you say that?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you can drop whatever you like.
Do that again, shall we? It's not that you don't give a fuck. It's just that you have things in perspective, right?
Yeah.
And you'll take. Maybe don't take yourself seriously, because that's never a good look, but take the work seriously. Mm-hmm. And then you can turn up and you'll be open to do, something good. Hopefully some magic will happen. If you're not tight and you're not, in your head.
Yeah.
Then that's probably another attractive quality.
Well, that also has to come out of a personal element as well. You can't just not be in your head as an actor. You have, as a person, you have to, start
evolve.
To be very, very comfortable in your skin.
Yeah, and take some knocks. The knocks are good. If any fledgling actors are out there,
I'm 35. I've just started to.
No, you can talk to
be
somebody
comfortable
that's
in my
been
skin.
like, this is like from after decades of rejection.
Yeah.
And you just kind of, you find your voice, and so. Rejection actually isn't a bad thing. It just kind of focuses your mind.
I like you using the phrase, you have to find your voice, because obviously as a stand-up, that's incredibly, that's one of the most prevalent terms in the stand-up.
Yeah, what are you saying?
Exactly.
What's your message?
Just finding your voice is the best comics you see are the ones who are so inherently themselves. You could ask them, we just talked briefly before we started recording about Billy Connolly. And there's a comic who is a storyteller.
Yeah.
So you could say to Billy Connolly, all right, tell me the prepared bit about that funny thing that happened when you fell off the motorbike into the canal, blah, blah. And that's always going to be funny. But you could also go, Billy, tell me about,
that sock on the
tell me
floor.
about sock. But this fucking sock, Jesus Christ, look at it, it looks like a saggy ball bag. Because he's got his voice so perfect. In fact, I know his voice almost better than my own in some ways.
Right.
But you've dabbled with the world of stand-up. I've been finding out.
I did dabble, but it was an accident. I was an angry evening. It was 9 months of breastfeeding and me thinking, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Or Jennifer.
I can't believe Jack makes you do that. You didn't even have a child. It's just like, that's why you look so youthful and handsome.
Oh my God. And then I was at home with this newborn, and it all got a bit Jennifer Hudson. It was all about, what about me? What about my life?
Yeah.
And Jack comes back from work being fabulous somewhere, and I'm like, take the child. And I got in the car, and I didn't know where I was going. I was in LA, and I was just driving, and I drove up Sunset Boulevard, and then I passed the Comedy Store, and I was like, oh, I know that place. And I went in, and there was like an open mic night, and I thought, oh God, I don't know, I was just brimming over with frustration and anger. And I got up and just kind of furballed up a piece about being a Scottish Mexican.
But I heard you killed.
And it went down quite well.
Which is infuriating.
It did.
That is incredibly infuriating. And not only did you just roll up to probably one of the most, if not the most famous venue in the entirety of America. Didn't just roll up there on a whim. First of all, you're pissed off. You're just like, fuck it, I'll go down to the Comedy Store. And then you got on stage and then killed on your first show.
Well, there you go. I mean, that was just, but that's the thing about this business, it's all being in the right place at the right time, and 90% of it is luck, and it was just one of those nights, and then they asked me to do it again, and I was like, I'm not a stand-up, I'm a classically trained actress, so of course, yes, I did.
So you did the same thing but in a rough.
I did do it again. I did
in rhyming couplets. The same thing. I did it.
I did the entire thing in iambic pentameter.
Love it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Did it feed a different part of your soul doing stand up? Did it make you feel good?
I've always loved theatre. I'm very comfortable up there on the boards, and I don't know, that's when all the noises in my head stop. I've been doing a lot of screen in the last back end of my career, but I did 20 years on stage, so I'm happy up there. So it sort of brought that back. I brought back the it reminded me of that relationship you have with the audience, the dynamic that you have. There's an energy that's
something very tangible
happens.
about an audience reacting in the immediate sense.
Yeah, so I'll definitely. That's always where my heart is.
Do you have to set yourself very clear periods during your career where you go, I'm going to go and do some theatre because I need to top up the...
I wish I could be that that decisive or lucky. No, I'm literally like, somebody offers me a job and I'm like, okay, thanks.
You have to be that to some extent. There's an element of that. Bills got to be paid and kids have got to be looked after, etc., etc.
So no, I think maybe let's see what I'm deep down at the whole of the Sabrina mine at the moment, and delighted and happy to be there. But I know that the next thing that I'm lining up, hopefully, because I don't really get to say, would be some big juicy role on stage. Yeah,
hell yeah. Have you tried on the broads with the RSC?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I did one performance when I left university. They did a 50 years complete works festival, and the RSC came and we auditioned to be in their thing. And so technically, I performed with the RSC once.
Right. Yeah. No, I did. I did I got my stripes there. I got doing Kate and Tammy the Shrew.
I may have even seen you do theatre, I think.
And it was a from a kind of wife beating point of view. It wasn't Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. They had lots of thigh slapping. It was a pretty dark read, and it was great. It was a good production. I was very happy with that. And then they did Cornelia's Dream, I think it was, which was, they rewrote that as a modern two-hander for me and David Hargreaves. So that was pretty intense.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
As well, though. Done it all. Bit of everything.
Oh, I've ticked all the boxes,
Singing,
mate.
dancing, you do that?
Oh, I've done it all.
Are you a triple threat, darling? You're a triple threat.
I could do a bit of a soft shoe shuffle, and I've definitely got a gypsy in me. I'd love to do that incredible production.
How did a Mexican and a Scot end up meeting, falling in love?
Joke, isn't it?
Yeah. A Mexican and a Scot walk into a bar. Well, actually, technically, it'd be. I mean, like Louis C.K. would have to tell it because isn't he? He's half Mexican, half Irish, I think. So when it comes to Mexican Celts,
mixes.
Although I heard you've never pulled your penis out in front of support acts, so.
Well, no, you say that, but I have pulled a banana out, so I don't know if that counts.
That was during a magic show, and everyone applauded.
Banana, and then there was the rabbit, and everything was fine. No, my dad was Caribbean. Families brought up and born in Antigua, and actually Montserrat, and then the volcano went funky, and they all moved to Antigua, and all the kids were shipped across to Edinburgh for an education, and my dad, out of his other siblings, was the only one that stayed in Scotland, and was really into photography. He wasn't
an artist in the family already.
Yeah, he wasn't a professional, but he was really into his pictures. My mum was a model.
Okay,
she was walking down the catwalk.
That's where the look
came from. Stop it. And Dad saw her walking down the catwalk, and he said to his friend, I'm going to marry that woman. And he did.
He did it. Are they still together?
Probably up in heaven they are. They've passed along to the other place. To the other place.
So even that in a modern day, like a relationship surviving like that is incredible. It feels like it's not the norm anymore for two people to stay.
I know, it's very unusual.
Yeah.
I know. Jack and I are 22 years in. Jesus Christ Almighty! Jackie Mason did a whole skit on that. And when you ask people how long they've been married, it always sounds like a prison sentence.
Yeah, 22 years in counting.
22 years in.
One more time.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, we're still going.
Who's the top and who's the bottom in that prison scenario?
Oh, I'm not going to answer that. No, it's a bit of a flip-flop situation there. Bit of a flip-flop.
You're both verse. That's fair. You got to be. For a good relationship to work, you got to compromise and,
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Actually, I didn't have any plan on talking about your relationship. And I won't go too deeply into it because I'm here to talk about you. But how does two very successful actors with two incredibly busy schedules make a relationship work? What would be like a takeaway or something that you didn't know beforehand that you've gone, actually, I think that's a really important element to why we've had 22 years and are still in love and happy?
I think the fact that we spend most of our time apart, that's really helped a lot.
So when you see each other, you really want to bone.
And because otherwise, like when you're married and you're in a 9-to-5, and I remember my mum saying, never marry a 9-to-5er because I know when the key's in the door, it's your fucking father. And so joking aside, it's good and it's healthy in a marriage.
To miss each other. It's healthy
to miss each other, and also for you to be individuals within the unity, to have your worlds, but it not be so enmeshed that it's just you're kind of sick of each other.
Sure.
And so, but also you've got to watch with that too, because the trick is not to lose sight of each other, not to actually start living two separate lives. Okay. So you've got to try and stay connected. So the rule is we never go past the 3-week
without seeing each other.
And FaceTime has helped now, like never before.
So
you will see each other
just before you arrived.
Yeah, you're in the room with like Jack is just in the room. He's on a little stand, and you don't need to sit and chat with each other, but you're just in each other's universe.
I was doing my hair, ready for this,
and it's lovely.
Thank you very much.
Gorge.
Quite bouffant.
Looks so different from the last time I saw you.
Well, I had like long hair down to here and a big beard.
It was all...
A week ago, I still had that.
Oh no, this is much better.
Thanks very much.
Very good. I'm going to do the same.
Took 5 years off, mate. Do you know what I mean?
No, you did.
Castable now. Castable.
Yes.
Before, pirates, cowboys, drug dealers.
Leading man.
Now. Really?
Leading. Abso-fucking-lutely.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Thanks.
Yeah, very good.
Appreciate
very good
it.
on the 360.
I would have just thought douchebag. I look like a douchebag.
Don't do that.
Now. I could
don't
be like
do that.
that's what I look like, though, don't I? A little bit.
No, you don't. No.
Okay,
no.
I'm going to start saying, leading man. Leading bloody man.
You could be
Superman.
You could be
Batman. Oh no, Robert Pattinson got that.
You could be all of those things. You can be anything you want to be.
Found out actually. I just I lost out on a role to Henry Cavill, the Witcher TV series. So he's going to play Geralt of Rivia, and I was like, well, I was never going to beat Henry Cavill, but now I've had a little shave. If I
you can beat anybody you want.
Get some muscles.
You can do anything you want.
Fucking do it.
I'm very, very, very big on manifesting.
Yeah. Do you like employ mindfulness and this kind of, I think we're allowed to be a little bit more in touch with our feelings and how we envisage things. Have you ever had a mood board at your house?
No, I've never had a mood board. I provide all the moods. Don't need a board for that.
There you go.
Oh, she's off again. No, I just I think with age comes wisdom. There's a saying, youth is...
Well, now you're 38. Yeah, you probably learned a lot, haven't you?
30, I'm going to do 39 in a minute. And so I don't know. I'm just a bit more relaxed about everything, really. And have faith that, whatever's out there for me will come to me as long as I just stay, open to it and positive and a decent human being, then, good things will happen.
I agree. It's hard to hit that point, and it's hard to accept that. Although it sounds like you had a happy upbringing, maybe it sounds like your parents liked each other at least enough to stay together, and not scream at each other every night. Whereas I'm still working on elements of that, because if you've got self-loathing at the core of who you are, it's hard to progress beyond that.
That's a sad thing. No, I've been there. No, because the what normally comes with self-loathing is that awful seesaw to crippling. So you have crippling self-loathing, but then the other scale there's crippling arrogance as well. So to be self-loathing and arrogant at the same time, that's a hard combination. And I've definitely dabbled in that over the years. Just as in my youth. I didn't turn out to be this fully formed, well-functioning human being you see before you today. I was feral.
Yeah.
a few years ago. I was, pretty hard to work with, I think, and probably get along with, and now sort of, calmed down a bit.
What changed? Was there a catalyst?
Yeah, there was a switch, I guess. Things just started, the consequences of my actions just started to get a bit more serious. And it's all just started to get a bit more grown up, probably about, I would say, maybe 15 years ago.
Well, you were in that biker gang for a while, weren't you?
I was.
Did a couple of years in prison.
I did.
You got out.
I did a bit of time.
See, now I don't know if you're joking or not.
I know you don't, but it was quite...
Have you ever been arrested? You ever been arrested?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's share some arrest stories.
Well,
what did you get
I
arrested
don't know
for?
if I...
Oh, you don't want to? No, okay. Well, we don't have to get into it.
I don't know if we'll go there. Yeah, no, had a bit of a history, and then just was like, something's wrong.
Doesn't that make you more interesting though?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know who would be interested in my story, but it was a while ago where I had to just kind of just sort myself out.
Yeah, fair.
And realize that I wasn't really getting where I wanted to go, and what was the problem. And then I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh,
it's fucking me.
I'm the problem.
Yeah.
God damn it. So just had to take stock and just change some stuff.
Well, I'm glad you did, because then we wouldn't have got to see you in these amazing roles over the last few
No,
years.
you know what? I actually, things really turned around for me when I got my shit together, work-wise and personally. And, I wouldn't have my kid, I wouldn't have Harry, I wouldn't have my dog, I wouldn't have, there was a lot of stuff that was kind of on the line a while ago that was definitely going to go away if I didn't clean my act up.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you.
Well, that brings us to the role. I mean, you've been doing some amazing work over the last few years. I think your character, out of anyone in the new incarnation of Sabrina, goes on more of a journey than any of the other characters, in my opinion. You start out this kind of meek lady that then becomes the bride of Satan that we're told. She seems very hell-bent on the Dark Lord's will. And then, I can say this because the season's already out. If you haven't watched the second season or the season 1 part 2, you should have done it. I binged it. Spoiler! So good. And then she almost becomes a good character. She's like an anti-hero for a while. And then at the very end, you're like, okay, well, there's going to be more to her story. You actually have had... Oh, and there was a brief moment where she was being very soft and almost found love. She almost found her Jack Davenport.
She did.
A little bit.
She did.
And so...
/ Jason Bateman.
Yeah, there you go. And I love that, because I was watching going with interest, going, I feel there's very few actors who could do all these different incarnations of the same person. But then also, what a joy to get a role like that where you go...
Well, I mean, that's what we all are, aren't we? We're all a little bit of everything. We're flawed and we're contrary.
The most interesting people are. I think there's a lot of people who are actually quite...
Oh, there's some beige ones. Oh,
yeah,
come on now. There's some beige out there. But there's a lot of colour too, and, I would think that...
I've been arrested 3 times.
Oh, let's not go back there. All right, officer. It wasn't me, it was him. But basically it's really important for me as well to play a character called Madam Satan, for God's sakes, to not be two-dimensional, to try and find some kind of depth there and an arc, and otherwise, I'm literally just standing in the background twiddling my moustache, which is coming along nicely.
Yeah? Yeah. Been growing it out?
Yeah. So I think that's, Roberto Aguirre Sacasa, that our showrunner and the in-house genius that he is, fleshed out an incredible role for me, and to kind of, play and reach and paint with not just broad brushstrokes but a whole palette of emotions. So it was really wonderful, and then end up being Queen of Hell.
Absolutely, yeah. You take that crown off Sabrina and walk through the door holding her young consort.
Hey, me and Gavin.
Literally,
did you see that?
You ripped. Absolutely ripped. You weren't actually carrying him, were you?
I was carrying.
Did you carry him?
There may have been a little help.
There you go. Knew it. I actually had a stunt woman on Tammy Baird, who I feel like could actually be a wonderful stunt double for you. She's
I must meet her.
She's done Angelina Jolie. She's done a few.
Christ!
She did
good enough for Jolie.
Fuck, who's the incredible actress on Sons of Anarchy who plays the matriarch on Sons of Anarchy? Wonderful American actress. Oh god, I feel like a terrible person.
No, right,
but anyway, she's done some great brunette, strong female characters. So.
Yeah.
There's a lot of feminist iconography is the wrong word. Ideology in Sabrina. The second season in particular, or season 1.2.
Yeah.
Seemed very much to be focused on, okay, let's take everything we know about like witchcraft and witches and let's take a bit of social climate and what's going on and let's build that into the story. Is that I feel like that's across the board now in most shows now. There's a conscious effort to do that.
That's what you could be talking about there with other shows, and maybe I don't know whether you want to label us the same, but there's a kind of there's the algorithm, right, that we all have to tick each box so that everybody is identified. But the thing with Sabrina, which I don't know whether this is a chicken and egg thing, but with all things that pop. Right, with things that really kind of grab the nation's imagination, it's because it speaks to that nation that's experiencing whatever it is that's going on the show at the time.
A little duality with real life, yeah.
And so there is this kind of zeitgeisty moment where it was just the timing couldn't have been better, and we'd hoped that it would do well, but we never expected it would talk to such a huge demographic. The demographic in Hollywood is let's get the 18 to 24s, but try doing school pickup as Madam Satan. I've got like some moms there that they're putting on their hats. I've got my coven, right?
Yeah.
I've got my Brooklyn coven, and so that's what's been really interesting. That it's
the
really
reception from the audience and how varied they are.
Varied in age, and group, and gender, and stereotype, and whoever it is. It's garnered a lot of interest from a huge group of people across the board.
Have you seen a kind of another rise in not being able to just walk along the streets in back in New York City, or do you ever get uncomfortable with?
Look at me. I mean, I don't know if you can see me on this thing.
I can see you. Yeah.
I don't because I actually didn't even put any makeup on. I hadn't realised that I was even going to be.
Stop it.
But anyway,
look at the manicure,
I normally,
the eyes are popping, the little eyeliner.
I normally look like. Look at me. Nobody would put me and Madam Satan together in the street.
That's absolute fucking bullshit. I have walked
down the street with Miranda Otto, the love of my life, and she plays Zelda Spellman, and she's so drop dead gorgeous, this woman. And I'm like, you look like a skateboarding lesbian. Nothing wrong with skateboarding lesbians, because I was one at one point. But that's basically my go-to look, right, out there in life, right?
I've got with the kids. Back when she was still cool.
Yeah, exactly. I've got my cap on. I've got my wee bomber jacket on. I do not look like Madam Satan. But Miranda, she's just gorgeous, like effortlessly beautiful, right? She's like a grown-up person. I want to be her when I grow up. But we'll like go into the store for like some tomatoes, and this woman came running up to us and grabbed.
What we do in Hollywood, actually, is just out buying tomatoes every day.
No, this is Vancouver. It was Canadian tomatoes, and they're different. And this woman runs up to us and she grabs Miranda and she goes, "Oh my God, I love you. I love you so much in the show. You're so amazing, so amazing." And then she said to Miranda, "And I really like Madam Satan too." And I was standing right there, did not recognise me.
Really?
Nope, did not recognise me.
That's mental.
And off she went to get her squash. I think she was buying some squash.
And you put a fucking curse on her.
No, I thought it was brilliant. Nobody ever recognises me. It's brilliant.
I don't understand how. I mean, that woman clearly had absolutely no perception of people.
No, she was caught in the glow of the auto.
Okay.
Because the woman glows.
But does she also, she dresses to impress sometimes she leaves the house?
No, but she's just very, very stylish.
Okay.
She's very classy and stylish.
So you.
No, I'm still in top. I'm still in Maison du Tocho. I'm still in Maison du Target.
This is the Scot in you, which I think is true of Brits as well. We have this a mild self-deprecation, which is, I think, rather attractive to Hollywood casting directors and execs. They like Brits and they like Scots.
They do.
And they like Irish.
Yeah,
right?
but I have a theory about that.
Tell me.
Well, have you noticed that most of the baddies, and if not all of the baddies, are played by Brits?
Always.
Do you know why that is?
Because we are incredibly good at organisation.
No, it's because we don't care if you love us or hate us. Like, we don't give a fuck. Like,
speak for yourself.
We don't like. I honestly think
insecurities.
like
Do they
American.
like me or not?
I think the American actors like they need to be loved,
There's
but
a
the
desperation.
Brits don't
There's
care.
a desperation.
The Brits don't care. Like, they really don't care about being loved. They really don't care about that.
They want to be respected and revered.
Respected and revered is great. I'll take that. But loved, well, yeah, whatever.
And sometimes feared.
Oh, yeah, always feared.
I don't feel like I've done a good audition unless I walk out and the casting director's shaking a little and just like, get him out of the building. If they don't call security to remove me, I haven't done my job. Right?
Horror stories. Oh, my God.
Have you had some terrible auditions out here?
Oh, my God. I've had a lot of
what
dreadful.
What was the worst one that comes to mind?
There's a few. I've got like the top 10, but I'd say probably the one that's like coming to mind now is where, on the Friday afternoon, my inbox fills up and I'm like, oh, something's cooking. And then, I speak to my manager and she's like, this one's yours. Go in on Monday, dress to impress, dress in the part. And that's the other thing we don't do in Britain. Like, we don't
never
ever dress up. Like, you just go in and right? But here, like, you dress up as the character, right? Which took me a while to get my head around.
I have not been doing that.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Really?
Yeah, you just got to do it. You just got to do it. You just got to.
Okay, all right. That's an interesting bit of advice, actually.
So,
Yeah.
but this is like, this is really tits and teeth, this part,
Okay,
right?
yeah,
and it's like, you can't wear that in the subway. So I've got my little costume.
I haven't heard things like that. So,
I've got my little cozy in my bag, right? God love me. And I'm on the F train forever. And I get into Manhattan and I go in and it's a casting. It's like a cattle call, right?
okay, so there's a whole load of people in there
there's
rather than one in, one out.
Oh, no. God, no. And so anyway, I go to the toilet and I come in. I'm basically wearing a bikini, right? With all my hair out and I'm going for it. God love me, right? And the casting director comes running out and she looks at me. She's like, oh my God, look at you. Oh, Michelle Gomez is here. Come and have a look at Michelle Gomez. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, I've never had this reaction ever. And she said, let's sit down and chat. And I was like, oh, this is so exciting. She sits down and she says, you look fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in. We cast it last night. But do you just want to do it anyway because you look so good? And I was like,
no, I'm all right.
Actually, nah.
Might put my clothes back on and fucking go home and have a cry, you
Not gonna do
bitch.
not gonna do that. Anyway, I couldn't get out quick enough. And I went into the toilet and I was like trying to get dressed and I was like, fuck this, and I just like put on a bit of this and a bit of that, but I still sort of was half costume, half civilian. And then I ran out and the elevator wasn't coming quick enough, so I went down the emergency exit, down the fire escape, and then I was on the 23rd floor and I was going clumping down the fire escape, and I was like, oh God, I've like 10 floors in. I was like, I just need to stop this. And then I realised I couldn't get out. Like, I was locked in the fire escape.
In the stairwell?
Yeah, in the stairwell. And I had to go all the way down to the gym. There was a gym. And they let me in, but then I had to get my ID out. And why was I coming in the fire escape and who? I was just horrendous. It was not good.
Yeah, that sounds pretty miserable.
Yeah, I didn't get that part. Well,
but not because you weren't the best actor, it's just because they already fucking cast it.
No, but that's what you have to do. You have to just keep going.
You know, I hate general meetings. General meetings, I wish there was a new name for it, which is, there is a new name for it. Pointless meetings, I feel like, so much. Well, it's really like, come and meet us so we can love you and then not think about you because we don't have anything to cast for another 2 months. And then when it comes up, we've already forgotten about that meeting.
Yeah.
It just seems like...
Yeah. No, there's a lot of, you gotta eat it. You gotta eat it.
Well, it's all first world problems, isn't it? I mean, there's a guy who's desperately trying to get representation right now, and I'm fortunate enough to be getting a general meeting, so I should really suck it up and stop being such a...
Yeah, and anyway, everybody gets their 5 minutes. I've currently got 2 minutes left. But you're very castable now. And
Thank
I love
you.
your Savage Snowflake. I need one of those t-shirts.
Yeah, I'll give you one before you leave. You can have one of these.
Is that yours?
Yeah, this is the podcast. It's Savage Snowflake.
Oh, I love that.
I'd be considered a snowflake because I'm a liberal lefty. But then I'm also, the idea is that we talk a bit more honest.
Don't judge me as being a snowflake and that means I'm weak. Are you kidding me?
No, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
That's fantastic.
I lay it out. But I'm also savage about both sides of the fence, and when it comes to all facets of life. I don't really prescribe myself to overt PC culture. but I also think there's as many lunatics on the far right as there are on the far left, and
of
blah, blah,
course.
blah, blah, blah.
Just Bill Maher all the way.
I used to be quite political on this podcast, and then I kind of stopped because I realised it wasn't that interesting or funny anymore to me.
No,
it's just I'm bored of politics in this country, especially.
Well, I'm not, but let's not go there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not bored of being active in it, but I mean, talking about it on a podcast.
Yeah.
I hit a point where I was just like tired of going over the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't think my monologue was really changing much.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Well, we all have. I will say that we all have a responsibility to make something.
Well, are you a US citizen now?
I'm a permanent resident.
Oh, a green card. Yeah, same. Yeah. But we can't vote. We can't do it. See, that's when I become.
But
I would become
talk.
a citizen. You're right. And also, you have a platform to be able to talk to, followers and fans.
Yeah.
I got rid of all that though as well. Just literally cut the hair off, and I deleted every single post that I'd ever made on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, clean house.
Decided I'll only put up content. That's it from now on. It's going to be characters, comedy videos,
love it,
clips of the podcast.
Yeah.
Because I think I should keep my personal opinions about everything a little bit more personal sometimes.
Well, we don't have to post everything, you know.
I did.
You can tickle along, you know. Just keep it tickling along. But you know,
it's hard because social media is very draining. Your fans want to know every single thing about you.
But not everything has to be documented.
There you go.
I mean, it's up to one's own personal censorship.
How do you draw the distinction between, all right, this is stuff that I do want to tell my fans, my supporters about because I think it's of interest, whether it's political or not. It could just be something about your own personal journey or about politics. And where do you find a point where you go, I feel that, but I still need to remember I'm a working actress and I need to be a little bit careful of the brand that is me as a performer.
Well, I don't really do. Occasionally, every now and again, I'll do a tweet.
Yeah.
But I've never liked the whole Twitter tweet. And also I can't really do Twitter because there's people on there. I don't know. Twitter seems very trolly. Twitter seems very negative.
That's all it is now. Yeah.
I don't really dig Twitter, but I really love Instagram. That seems like a really sweet community. And I'm still blown away that I have more than 2 fans, and they're genuinely into it. And because of Doctor Who, that was like the first time I was exposed to this huge fandom, and they're so gorgeous and sweet and
incredibly supportive. They will follow everything you do.
Yeah, and so that I kind of feel like they put so much energy into it that it's kind of it's not my job, but I feel like I want to communicate with them, and now Sabrina's blown up as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's,
and let's not forget Gotham is a huge show too. So.
Then there was Gotham, right? Yeah. And so it's unless it so far in the last couple of years since the Missy thing, I haven't had anything awful. I haven't had anything that's upset me or it just
what you mean in terms of contact with fan base or contact online?
Yeah, it seems like it's in a good place, and but I think that's because I really respect them, and I am still blown away. I seriously am still blown away that I'm still here, I'm still working, I still get to work, and that people are digging it. So I love that.
I made a friendship recently with a very successful actor here, and I was looking at his career. I was thinking about his career. He was part of the impetus for me deleting all my stuff and just going, don't need to put everything out there. I've been studying, not necessarily studying the careers of, but looking at how people that I respect and admire in the acting world conduct themselves.
Yeah.
And I looked in, I was like, I don't want to be the biggest star of all time for 2 years. I want to have a longevity of career. I want to be able to, I want to be 80 and still doing roles and still enjoying what I'm doing. And I think that's the real sense of success.
The thing about something like Instagram or social media or any of these things is that it's such a, it's a huge void of noise, right?
You look so tired talking about it as well.
And it's like, oh, you know, and I caught myself the other day going, oh, maybe if I tweeted a picture of my asshole, I might get some more likes. You know, it's like, how far do you go with how much of yourself
first of all,
you give away?
I don't want to turn you off that idea because I don't know what your asshole looks like, but I imagine.
I'm not gonna, do you know, but it's like, how, like, wait a minute, there's a broom over there, you're gonna stick it up my ass, and, you know, it's like, how, you know, that's the thing, that's the problem, you know, it's a fine line of communicating with
sexuality equates to huge numbers in a very short period of time. I got lots of female friends who are in pornography, and you know, great women, wonderful women. In fact, the pornography girls are actually incredible because they're so fucking honest and direct about what they do, and they treat it as a business. Their work ethic is crazy. A lot of the other girls who are friends who are
dabbling
models,
which
basically means every 3 days they post a picture of their ass in a thong on Instagram. They got like 200,000 followers, or some of them 1 million.
But what does that mean?
But I know that as soon as they stop posting photos of their ass, it's gone. There's no real fan
It's not
base
real.
there.
No,
There's
no
boys
substance.
furiously masturbating.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's move on.
It is. That's
well,
what,
of
that's
course,
what Instagram is for a lot of it.
It is. Yeah. God.
We need a new social. There needs to be a new social media app, which is
reading.
Read.
Just read.
Well, but actually, I was talking about this yesterday
Look
with a guy.
at me reading.
This is what's happening with TV. Sorry, this is my point's going to get a little muddled. For instance, Amazon killed the book trade, right? Amazon and Kindle and all of that killed the book trade. But then people got to a point where everything's being controlled by one person. They actually missed the tangible beauty of
the romance.
The romance of it, of reading a good book and holding it, and I love bending the ear of a corner of a book.
That's very bad. That's very naughty. You mustn't do that. God, no.
No, because there's nothing better than folding over the corners of a page, and then when you're done with that book, giving it to a friend, and they can see that it's weathered and you've read it and you've enjoyed it. I love that. Okay. I'm not about bookmarks. Fuck the bookmark.
Now, do you bend the spine? That's
no. I don't want to break the spine.
Okay.
But I give it a good fold in the corner.
Fine. All right. Okay.
A little bit of that. Okay. I don't mind if it's a little weathered on the edges.
No, I know there's some.
But Amazon Books. Amazon literally took over everything, killed the book trade, and then had to start opening Amazon bookstores for physical books. And TV's gone the same way, and I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, or I'd love to hear your opinions on it, we've got our Netflix and our Amazon Prime and our HBO Go and our Hulus and blah, blah. Basically, what's happening is all these different places have gone, let's create our own platforms, get our $12.99 a month out of all these people. And we're going to get to a point where eventually, I think, we're going to be paying 20 different $12.99s and get fed up of it. And someone is going to come in and do a blanket company that has all these different things for one price. What's that? Cable TV. It's a fucking TV license again. So we're going to go back to that.
No, I feel like we probably will go back. I mean, the kids in the show, the younger ones, the generation below me, they're doing this thing, which is when we sit in the tent, you do a scene and then you turn around and you sit for a minute whilst they fiddle with the equipment and they get a thing out that's a book and they read their books. And it's us
What,
lot,
an actual physical book?
A physical book. They're turning pages.
Really?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Wow.
And so it's, I don't know, I think we're just coming back to it. It's a bit like, coming back to the era of vinyl as well and records. Having that's all about the romance.
Hipsters, mate. That's what it is, hipsters.
It's all about like listening to, being present for the good stuff, which, just gets eaten up when you're on screen.
You actually, a lot of your cast mates on Sabrina are young. Well, I don't know if they're kids because they're probably like 22 playing 15, 16, right?
Yeah, it's like 18 and up.
In fact, they're 17, but they're all 18 and above, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it weird working with so many people who are in a different stage of their life? Is that
so gorgeous. No, I love. No, they are amazing. Oh my God, I just sit in awe of them. They're so together and professional and fabulous. And
the worst.
They're so good. Worst. They're so good.
How can you be that fucking,
together?
Sorted by 21?
I mean, I was a fucking nutter at their
Give
age.
it 3 more years, heroin addicts, all of them.
No,
All of them.
I hope not. Oh my God, I hope not. No, well,
Sabrina the teenage crackhead. It's gonna happen. You never know.
I hope not. I really hope not. No, they're good kids. I love them very much. I love hanging out with them. We have a really good laugh, and it's great. It's kind of energizing. And I don't know, like I have Arrested Development. I feel like I'm one of them, and I was twerking up the wall with them the other day.
That's
I know
the Instagram content right there.
it was like, I know, and that ended up, you can find me twerking up a wall in heels.
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, Google that.
Or just watch Greenwing. That waste. Wow. You had some sexy bits. There was one scene I remember.
Which one
You
was
know
that?
which one I mean. You know which
I
one I
don't.
Where you, I think,
Was
you
I
and
aggressing Steve Mangan?
No, you and one of the other characters were both vying for his affection, and it was a blonde lady, and you went into the bathrooms.
Oh no, that's terrible.
And she was trying to sort of rearrange her cleavage to look a bit more sexy, but she had quite petite boobs.
Yeah.
And you just like it's this but it's hilarious because it's this back and forth of like two girls in the bathroom trying to kind of outdo each other, and at some point you just pull your top up and just squeeze your rather voluptuous breast
I
together.
know, it's very bad. Very, very, very bad. I remember doing that in the moment, because that was not on the script, in the script. And I'm not sure I'd do that today, but
What's
was
wrong
like,
with that?
wow.
There's nothing wrong with that. Got to do it. Why not? Why not?
Yeah,
I didn't take your breasts out.
Well, I didn't think now that's out there a lot at that moment, and I you don't think 10, 15 years ago that's gonna come back to haunt you.
I did a nude fashion show for a friend who was a hat maker, and there were female hats, and she wanted to have different models of all different types. So there was a very butch lesbian girl, there was a girl that was kind of transitioning, and blah 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 blah, and a big black girl who was like very heavy set, a very old lady who was like 80 or something.
Right.
And then they had me as a guy, because I was doing lots of TV on BBC, and so she was like, would you come and do this catwalk? Everyone's going to be naked. You're naked, and it's just the hat.
Oh,
and I was like, fuck yeah. This is back when I was doing a lot of coke, so I was like, yeah, fucking let's do it. So and I did it, and there's photos of me with my cock out walking on this catwalk. And you know what? I'm happy about it. Because first of all, I was young. I looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Probably got a better body now, actually. But I looked all right. I was happy about it.
Yeah.
And also, I don't think you should ever lament being sexy and enjoying that, especially not within a role capacity.
Yeah.
I'd love to do a good nude scene, because I'd be like, fuck it. Yeah, why not? Bodies are great. And being sexy
I was
is great.
really into these very, the coffee book the coffee book table,
Yeah,
the table,
like
coffee book table photography books,
There you
right?
go, yeah. Coffee table photography books.
Thank you.
Big ones like that,
Big
heavy,
ones.
you could kill a man with it.
Mapplethorpe was an amazing photographer, and so it was just at that time,
Who was that? Sorry, who was it?
Mapplethorpe.
Okay.
Maplethorpe. Wonderful photographer of the female form.
Okay.
And I don't know, like I just moved to London and it was all exciting, and there was a photographer friend of mine who was fantastic, and of course, we were kind of quite into each other, and I was like, I want to have a naked picture of me, because I was like in my 20s, and then I want you to do the exact same pose when I'm 30, when I'm 40, when I'm 50.
Are you doing it?
Yeah, so there's you can track I called it decay, right? So you can track the decay as your body, with each 10 years.
Right.
And so we did 20s, 30s, 40s, and I've, still to do 50s, but there's just no visible sign of decay.
I know. Can't tell. You look exactly like you did back then as well. I think there's a lot of pressure though. Look, even when you came in, you're like, oh, I'm just like looking after myself, and God, I eat soda bread. That's so bad for me. I gotta say, Michelle, Jesus Christ,
so good.
First of all, I don't know if you don't strike me as the kind of woman who fishes for compliments. I think they get thrown at you. So I feel like you don't need that compliment, but you have an incredible figure.
Aww.
But secondly, also, I wonder whether that's born out of, it doesn't matter whether you're 20 in Hollywood or 50 or 80 in Hollywood. There is a lot of pressure still on women to just look, you gotta look fucking perfect and young all the time.
Yeah.
Which is so...
I'm glad you brought that up.
Weird and unrealistic.
We have the most amazing set of heads of department in Sabrina, and one of the favourite department is the costume department.
Always,
and
it's the most calm place.
So
and
fun and gorgeous, and makeup. But Angus Strathy is our costume designer, and I have completely fallen in love with that man because he understands the female form.
Yeah.
And he's extremely good at his job and very talented, but he makes every woman on that set feel amazing because he designs to their strengths. I mean, we all have good bits and bad bits about our body, whatever, right? But the idea, the ideal is to really accept everything about ourselves. But we don't.
Also, these women are witches, right? As well.
But we don't,
and
right?
they're meant to, there's something about when you're playing a witch character, the idea is that, you might be a few hundred years older than you actually look, and the idea that you can keep that.
But I was probably, in fairness, it's expensive. These costumes are expensive. There's a lot of people making these costumes. And, I'm always like, if you can wear it once, you should really wear it twice. Mm-hmm. So
Please tell me you walked off the set with a few.
It's a budget thing, right? No, I can't do that. But
you can. You just don't tell anyone on a podcast, but...
No, you mustn't. But last year I was probably in slightly better shape, or just a slightly different shape than I was this year, right? So the costumes,
Muay Thai, kickboxing, what was going on last year?
So the costumes just a little snug this year, right? But I'm like, do you know what? There's just a little bit more of me to love, right? I'm not gonna, not have my soda bread, right? Or my sourdough. I love my toast. I am Scottish, I do live on fat and sugar, and it's done me no harm.
I got tea and I got Marmite. You were like, fucking sweet.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
yeah.
I got what are they called?
Tunnocks.
No.
Tunnocks tea cakes.
Shortbread. Biscuits here.
Uh-huh.
Do you want one?
Yeah, well, I'm not going
to grab it right now.
Well, now you're telling me my tea's nearly finished and I haven't dunked my shortbread.
Look, and they're Walker's.
Jeez, give me.
Shortbread.
What is wrong with you?
I was munching them last night.
Buried the lead, man.
There you go.
Buried the lead.
I'll tell you what, they're going to have to add an extra inch to the old to the dress for next season.
No, but the French, right? They see elasticated waistbands have fucked us because you just you keep going, you just doesn't matter. But that's why you should always have a nice waistband so that you don't want
a pair of sexy Spanx.
You don't want to let yourself go, really. You just want to stay in
shape.
Anyone
who's watching the video version of this on YouTube right now and is looking at you talking about, I've let myself go since last year.
Haven't.
Or there's a little bit more of me to love. I'm going to be very frustrated by how athletic and thin you actually are.
No, that's just genes, and I'm gorgeous. Actually, so there you go.
Look, I saw a young lady, and I won't say which actress it is. Because I certainly wouldn't want to upset anyone. That's not my intention. There was a young lady who's in a hugely successful, actually a series that's very similar to Sabrina. In fact, it's like it kind of is succeeding in a very similar way and has quite a young cast, etc. So she's shit hot right now, and she's been doing some movies. And I saw her yesterday, just in Franklin Village. She was going out for some food with some friends. She walked past. I was like, oh, that's that actress. She's very talented. And she was very thin. She was definitely struggling with an eating disorder. Yeah. And I was like, Jesus Christ, she's got to be fucking, I don't know, 21 at the oldest. And I'm guilty of that same pressure. There's a reason why I'm trying to change the way I look, because I want to get more work. And I realize if I have some abs and, nice pecs and cut the fucking hair off and get the jawline out, I'm going to get more work. But where does that stop? Because look, we've talked about Depardieu, or a long list of both male and Judi Dench is a very sexy woman, very beautiful, but she's never been I don't think she's had to always over glamorize. The weight of her talent is why she's booked, not because she's got a cracking pair of boobs and do you know what I mean?
Like Helen Mirren.
Do you know what I'm saying, though? Yeah.
I think it's...
At what point is it okay, I definitely want to look good and I want to look sexy for myself, but then for roles, you go... look, one of your other cast members, and she's, again, enjoying immense success with all the movies she's been doing, as well as Sabrina, who plays the other Spellman sister, not Zelda,
Lucy Davis.
Lucy Davis, who's a British, now a bit of a British institution. She's been in so many things.
Yeah.
And she's a cuddly lady.
Cuddly.
Sexy.
So cuddly. Yeah.
Still sexy, got a beautiful face. And when she went dark, she had a couple of dark moments certainly in the second season. And you're like, oh, God, she's a little fire about her. But she's not, worrying about being painfully thin for roles or anything like that.
I mean, it's really interesting. If you look at the people like this, the big stars that pop, right? They are, none of them, perfect in any way, shape or form. There's always something that sets them apart, right? So this sort of cookie cutter notion that, if you look a certain way, you're going to get great success is a myth. It's a lie.
But then on the flip side, the young lady playing Sabrina, very beautiful, very great figure, etc., youthful looking. The young lad who you carried off into hell.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that guy's I want to suck his dick. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, there you go. Oh,
no, I'm being honest. There's a little part of me that was looking at him going,
and he's so sweet.
But super. So he's
gorgeous.
Very beautiful. He's a beautiful boy with a
person.
Great body.
Beautiful person. Gavin Leatherwood.
Is that his name?
Gavin Leatherwood. I mean, and that's his real name.
Such a
Gavin. I love a bit of Gavin. And Kiernan is my most favourite person actually on the planet.
Is that the actor who plays the other
Sabrina?
Kiernan
Shipka
I don't know all the actors' names. I apologise.
She's my bezer. I love Kiernan. The two of us are
How old is she?
She's just turned 19.
Wow, Jesus. That's pretty cool though, isn't it?
Yeah, she's phenomenal. She is unbelievable. She's number one on the call sheet. She sets the pace. She is the most professional person I have ever come across. She makes me laugh so much. We have our own little side show called Jargonology, where the two of us talk about
Jargonology.
Okay. It's just we're just pissing about between scenes, and we record ourselves. Just sort of acting workshops that we do, and we've post them on Instagram.
Okay.
But I really that's the big surprise for me. One of the people that I love the most. I think probably because I do most of my work with her, you end up kind of falling in love with your scene partner, and
hopefully, or end up
hopefully not. Yeah, that's not good. No, this is a very happy ship. This is we all genuinely really like each other very much. I can see that.
I watched a couple of other prior interviews you've done, and I can tell when people are going through the motions at a press junket. To just to be nice and we love it and great rapport and thing, and then when people are actually, you can see there's I think for Tom Hiddleston and Robert Downey Jr. have that, for instance. They seem like there's a real genuine friendship, a little bit of a paternal kind of vibe there. Maybe you have that with her, a little maternal vibe.
It transfers, right? Yeah. Definitely that transfers onto the screen. I think that's the chemistry between all of us has really worked. I think, again, down to Roberto's eye, he's just chosen some people that we're all, I don't know, we all just seem to, we all complement one another. It's a beautiful cast where we all just all our energies are really
sickeningly happy.
Very happy, very happy. Well, we'll see. Long may it continue.
Absolutely.
We've got a lot to do, so everybody just gets on with it.
Well, I jest and say that it's sickening, but I'm very happy that you're enjoying such a period of success.
Thank you.
When we met 4 years ago in an airport lounge, and I was just like, "Oh, you're a very talented actress," and I wanted to say well done on all the stuff you've done. And then we had a nice little chat. And I'm glad I'm getting to see you again. It's nice. Hope you'll make more of it.
It took us 4 years.
It took us 4 years. It's all right, though.
Yeah.
Got something to talk about, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope long may she reign, the Queen of Hell and Michelle Gomez in general.
Thank you. And you too.
Thank you.
I'm very excited for you.
I'm excited one day to be in a show with you. I'm going to get myself cast in something you're in.
Oh, right.
And then you'll
maybe
get
Sabrina.
To go, we have this rapport.
Oh my God, that's great.
We do these Instagram videos, and I'll be like, yes, that's with me. That's but I don't do Instagram anymore because I'm too cool for it.
Oh no, never be too cool.
I'll have abs by then, like that beautiful Leatherwood boy. Me and the Leatherwood boy. I'm going to play his slightly older, devilish
he's
brother.
so goofy and gorgeous in real life. Honestly,
I considered it. I thought, could I?
Should I?
Should
Could
I?
I? Would I? Should
Would
I?
Can I? But yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
I hope that season 2, aka season 3,
Yeah.
is received as well as the first two have been.
so.
I absolutely loved it myself personally. Make sure, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already followed Michelle on everything she's doing, get online. She clearly uses Instagram occasionally and drops the occasional tweet.
Daily.
So follow her on that. Oh, every day on Instagram.
Pretty much.
Oh, okay. All right. There you go. So and it's just Michelle Gomez on Instagram.
It's Michelle Gomez Official,
Official.
apparently, with the little blue.
At Michelle Gomez Official with the blue tick. Make sure you follow her on there. But also, not only look through her incredible body of work, you know, from Doctor Who to Gotham to Sabrina, but also, please, if you are a big fan of mine, which I assume you are if you're still listening to this podcast, there's a few thousand of you, please go back and watch Green Wing.
Oh,
Because I genuinely think it's one of... it was one of the British comedies, and it is a cult classic. It's stood the test of time. Well, because it didn't run for long seasons.
No, we ran out of people to insult. We had to get off the air.
But it was. I think it was very unique. It did something that set the precedent for lots of other great series that came after it. And your character was so ridiculously, wonderfully mental and sexy that I think everyone should watch that to see the birth of this wonderful actress in that role.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for joining me.
God,
and
Jeff,
we'll
thanks.
see you again in the future. Bye.
Savage.